Deep beneath the heart of Turkey, hidden away in a forgotten town, lies a tunnel no one dares enter. For centuries, locals have whispered of its dark history. The tunnel is said to lead to a place where time and space warp, a place where the laws of nature no longer apply. But despite the rumors, no one has been able to uncover the truth until one fateful day in 2023. A team of urban explorers, led by the ambitious and fearless Kem, discovered an old map in a local library. The map led them to a decaying building on the outskirts of the town, where rumors had circulated of something buried beneath it. The explorers, eager for adventure and thrill, ignored the warnings and descended into the darkness. As they entered the building, the air felt thick and heavy, as if the earth itself was holding its breath. The walls were lined with ancient carvings, symbols none of them could decipher. The structure had clearly been abandoned for centuries, yet the air inside was unnervingly cold, and the atmosphere felt as if it were alive, pulsating with something unseen. They found the entrance to the tunnel, hidden behind a broken stone wall. The heavy iron door creaked open with a groan, as if protesting their intrusion. Stepping inside, they found themselves in complete darkness. The only light came from their flashlights, casting eerie shadows on the damp stone walls. As they ventured deeper, they realized the tunnel wasn't just a tunnel. It was a maze. The walls seemed to shift, the path twisting in impossible directions. Their compasses malfunctioned, and the deeper they went, the colder it became. They began hearing sounds, distant whispers, as though something, or someone, was watching them from the depths. At first, it was small things. Objects moved when they weren't looking, a chill down their spine. The unmistakable feeling of being followed. But as they continued, the atmosphere grew heavier. The walls were now covered with strange symbols, unfamiliar to anyone who had studied ancient languages. Some of the symbols seemed to pulse with a dim, sickly light. The group pressed on, unaware of the horrifying discovery they were about to make. After what felt like hours, they reached a chamber deep within the tunnel. At the center of the room was a large stone altar, covered in dust and cobwebs. The floor was littered with old bones, human remains, scattered haphazardly, as if they had been thrown there carelessly. In the center of the altar was an ancient book, bound in cracked, yellowed leather. Sem approached it, his hands trembling. The book's pages turned by themselves, stopping at a page covered in symbols they couldn't read. The room seemed to grow darker, the temperature dropping rapidly. Suddenly the ground shook violently, knocking the explorers off their feet. The air grew thick with a heavy, oppressive presence. Something ancient, something evil, was awakening. They heard it. The sound of something moving, something not human. They turned to find the shadows in the corner of the room shifting, coalescing into a form that shouldn't exist. The figure was not fully visible, but its presence was overwhelming, its energy suffocating. Panic set in as they tried to escape, but the tunnel had changed. The walls seemed to close in on them, the paths leading nowhere. The sound of whispers grew louder, and then came the laughter, low, guttural, and inhuman. One by one, the explorers began to disappear. Sem's flashlight flickered as he screamed for help, but no one could reach him. His body was never found. The last piece of footage captured by the camera was a figure standing in the shadows, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly malice. The footage was recovered months later. Authorities quickly sealed the tunnel, but strange things began to happen in the town. Locals who dared speak of the tunnel started vanishing without a trace. Their stories were dismissed as superstition, but those who knew better kept silent for fear of attracting the attention of whatever haunted that tunnel. To this day, the tunnel remains sealed and no one dares to enter. But the footage that surfaced on the dark web, it's a chilling reminder of what lies beneath and the terrifying truth that some places are best left alone. If you ever find yourself near a forgotten town in Turkey, remember this warning. Stay away from the tunnel beneath the abandoned building.